Dave, welcome to, oh wait.
Who's
Um
Dave?
who who's there? Who are you?
My name is Y Rat Earp.
Why Rat Earp?
Yeah, I'm a lawman.
Uh what are you doing here?
Well, I just have a message. Just want
Okay,
to
what's
say
that?
that in all that time working those Cowtown fantasy leagues, I only ever got mixed up in one shootout, just one. But a man lost a fantasy game, and I took it. You don't know how that feels. And believe me, boy, you don't want to know. Not ever.
Uh
Oh, that's it. I gotta go.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
Oh man,
Dave.
what was that? I just got
Oh,
back from the bathroom.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guest appearance on the podcast to
Oh, really?
start things off.
Who?
Yeah.
Huh. I bet
Why
he was
Rat
cool. I
Why
bet he
Rat
was
Earp was here.
Rat or that guy
Yeah.
sounds like a winner.
I
Unlike somebody else.
um I mean, nothing going on here.
No,
Just
just
me.
just normal.
I mean, we so many things. I mean, this could be a reflection of fantasy football. It could be a reflection of actual NFL football. It could be a reflection of just my midlife crisis. I mean, pick your poison, Dave.
And yeah. Well,
All right.
well,
Well, you ready for
55.
this?
I don't really know what to tell you.
Oh,
Yeah, take that off.
Dave, how's it
How you doing,
feel?
Kevin? Are you all right?
No, I am not all right.
What
I had that
what'd
bag
you
on
think
my
of Y
head.
Rat?
I had that bag on my head for like 2 minutes, which meant during that 2 minutes,
You couldn't drink. You know, I bet who could drink you under the table?
why
Y
rather?
Rat.
Yeah. Yeah. You just gonna stand there and bleed, Dave?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
So,
So
well,
I got an award to hand out.
yeah, Dave.
Yep.
Let me just ask you, how does it feel coming into the podcast, doing the podcast off of a win where you scored a lot of points?
Let's
Is
just
that
say,
better?
let's just say I probably wouldn't have done, wouldn't have. I don't know. I'm. It's good.
It's good.
It's good, Kevin. It was unexpected. It was a roller coaster of a day. I was driving the whole time, and I just kept seeing the projection for how bad Brian was going to beat me get
Mhm.
higher and higher and higher. And there's nothing I could do about it but just watch the road. And then when it was all said and done, you know, my quarterback destroyed the Bengals, which sucked. But
Um,
you know,
well, Dave,
but I'm not giving it
congratulations.
to myself.
Okay, you got an award to give
And
out.
it's first 2 weeks, it was pretty much by the book, but week three, uh, unfortunately, Travis is the victim of not going by the book because even though he got high points, it's going to our only undefeated team. Even though he didn't score that much, he got a win and he's 3-0, and that's Ed. Team
Congratulations, Ed.
Libertas. So Ed, man, I don't know if you're watching Ed. I don't know if you know how to watch these things and hit play on your phone, but if you do, congrats, you're 3-0. It's amazing. You your draft was all, I was surprised by a lot of the picks, but somehow they're working out for you, and away you go.
Hold that thought on Ed. Congratulations, Ed. All
Okay.
right. Um, and with that, we have a Hillbilly Harrison Hillbilly of the Week award to give out, Dave. And it's going to none other than
I mean, the hardest part is figuring out the reason, like the main reason. Scoring, losing, that's, you're always a possible hillbilly
you
just
want me
for
to go
losing.
down the list?
Then you got that you only scored 55. Then you
Yep.
got who you were playing and that
Yep.
you had a chance to beat that person because they only scored 70 something.
Yep.
Yeah. LOSER. That's
Yeah. What if the fact that like I could have played every single person on my team, all 15 of them, and maybe still not won?
Where did it go wrong? You had such a good, strong week 1.
And a strong week 2, actually. I mean, week 2 would
Yeah,
have got me the win week 3.
yeah, that's true.
So,
Well,
Dave, I don't know. It this is a very reactionary league,
oh yeah,
as in our power rankings, which we'll get to in just a second. I wanted to put a pin in that Ed winning high points because come back to that real quick. It just went wrong, and if I'm gonna dish it out, I got to be able to take it. So I deserve it. Adam got the win. He gives himself new life. He's 1-2, just like half over half the league.
yeah, yeah.
So congratulations, Adam, on getting the win. And we got so much to talk about tonight. I mean, where to even start? I can handle if Adam wanted to jump on Monday night and talk about what a loser I was and that he kicked my fantasy butt. I can handle all of it.
Yeah.
But when he comes into the chat talking about the Bengals,
Well,
it makes me want to drive to Hidden Valley. Stop there.
calm down. This.
Oh, that 3 Super Bowl winning self-righteous talk just and he plays himself like, oh, the Bengals are this year. I'm pulling for I'm pulling. He could not wait like Monday night to just
Kevin,
jump
do
in.
you need a dish of your own advice? Because there were times when, you know, I was getting up, I'd get all riled up about Adam, and you would tell me that he was just playing a part. He's just trying to get in my head. And I hate cats. Let me go beat up my cat real fast.
Woosah.
All right. So
Woosah.
yeah, so you
Okay.
always tell me that. You're like when he's
Yeah.
posting something about Taysom Hill and three years ago, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right.
so yeah,
So,
let's look at some of these matchups from this
well,
week. We
I
briefly
wanted to
mentioned a
talk about
couple.
the I wanted to talk about the power rankings,
Oh,
Dave.
okay, fair enough.
We posted that out there, and it's a combined thing. We
Hmm.
take Dave's votes and my votes, and we kind of mishmash them together,
It must have been pretty close.
plus a little AI magic, and it all comes together. And so we've got Goose's son at number 1, Lee. But so Ed wins Miller Time Team of the Week,
Yeah,
only 3-0 team, but yet neither one of us had him number 1 in the power rankings.
yeah. Well,
And so much so, I had him higher. You had him a little lower than even I did.
oh, really? Okay.
Um, so he ended up coming in 4th in the power rankings. How's that happen, Dave?
Well, there's a lot of factors. There's, I think I pointed out that there's like 6 other guys that have, or 5 or so that have more points than him.
Yeah.
And any given week, he might start somebody that's been on IR for the whole week, and everybody knew it but him.
So reputation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just got a win with a 70 spot, I think, something like it was. He did.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other guys, blasted their way up there. They've been like Brian, I had to have a monumental comeback to beat him. He had a pretty strong 117, so I didn't want to drop him much. And
You remember week 1 when we thought Travis was dead?
yeah, yeah, he's came on pretty strong here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That was a big week. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some reputation. There's some, what you've done. Like he's gotten some wins, and wins are powerful because they keep you where you want to be in
Yeah.
the standings. But total points as time goes on will factor in, because as soon as Ed loses, one of these guys is gonna pass him up in a heartbeat because they got more points than him.
Yeah. So, hey, if you disagree with the power rankings, let us know why in chat. And if you really don't like it, make your own. So
There you go. There you
it's
go.
that easy. So yeah, so some of the matchups that we had, We talked about me and Adam. That was a dumpster fire. Adam gets 72 in the win. I get 55 points. That's not good. Uh,
No.
Ed holds on to beat
Yeah.
Ratty. If Josh just doesn't play the Bengals defense,
No, he still would have lost.
but yeah, it was
He
he.
by he would have lost by point or by 1 point or less than a point because they got -4.
Well, and if McPherson hits that field goal, then he's, you know what I mean,
Gets
Ed
beat
gets
by a
even more
lot.
points,
But I
but
mean, going into the game, I was like, for sure the Bengals are gonna at worst get 8 points or something, And he had like an 8 point lead, or
you know who Josh is probably blaming this loss on is probably Shaheed. I can't believe he played him. I mean, he
I
knew not
know
to play
what a
him.
fool.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Whoever told him to play
I
Shaheed?
know that's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Who sat
uh,
around and eating chicken saying exactly what was going to happen, and he
yeah, he
still
knew
did
it.
it.
Yeah. So,
He still did it.
yeah. Uh,
He knew what was going to happen, and he still did. Oh man.
Rennie gets a big win,
Yeah,
107
yeah, that
points
was.
versus Brennan. Brennan, who started out well, now has lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, he's. You don't win with eight, and his main guy Cook did good. His defense did good. Olave picked up the pace, but then he's it's the quarterback thing. He's got two guys that could
Yeah.
blow up, and sometimes it's nice when somebody gets hurt. You're forced to play somebody else.
Yeah. Andy, good rebound as far as
Yeah.
like he scored such low points last
Oh
time.
yeah.
So Allen's going to keep him in a lot of games, but just up against Travis 135. I mean, that's tough.
Did you happen to see that he scored more points with three guys on Monday night than you scored total?
He almost scored more points with one guy than I did total, but yes. Yes, Andy did really well for himself on Monday.
Yeah.
That would have
But
been an
Travis,
epic.
that it was those two chase, if ifs and buts, but if a possible situation is they really hone in on Chase Jamar and don't let him score, and Higgins or somebody, Gasecki get those two touchdowns, and then Adams or Travis's score drops by 12 or
Yeah.
15
Well,
or
and Andy didn't benefit from the fact that, I mean, Josh Allen did all of his work in the first half, and if that's a closer game,
yeah, he didn't play
then
the fourth quarter.
yeah. So, uh,
Yeah,
and I mean, matchup of the week was you versus Brian. That was a huge one, and I mean,
I mean, I went into it thinking, all right, he got the first week he got 28. The second week he got like I think around 15 or less, and I'm like, average them together, but it wasn't like it took him a little bit, and he got that rushing touchdown. I'm like, all right, we're inching my way, and then in the second half he just blew up, and you know, once it got to I think once it got to like 120 ish, he could still throw a pick, and I'd be all right,
yeah.
and the Bengals could have won, but they didn't
That
get any
last
points.
touchdown that was the heartbreaker for the Bengals. You mean
Yeah.
when we couldn't get off the field?
But Rennie got on and questioned my Bengals loyalty. But I that definitely wasn't the plan for my team. It was not to start Daniels at any point until Love had a bye week. But things happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I could have picked up somebody and dropped Daniels, but I don't know who I would have picked up if I would have known Andy Dalton was going to do what he did.
And finally, Kyron Williams,
Matched
stepped
the
up.
exact score of Barkley. Talk about negating this Barkley. I was just, I think I mentioned I was driving and I kept, I was listening to whatever game was on the radio, and then like, oh, Barkley just broke off a 60-yard touchdown or something. I'm like, lovely. And but yeah, Kyron matched him. Um, I used my waiver spot on that Kansas City guy, and I could have played Swift and I still would have won by like 3 points, but it didn't make a difference, but I don't, in some ways I'm glad because now I can just use my waiver willy-nilly and not have to worry about losing the one spot anymore.
Yep. And then Lee just keeps trudging along. Got a big win versus Junior. I mean, this one was not. I mean, it's close-ish.
Not dominating, but
Um,
you get in the 90s and you play junior, you're gonna be all right.
man, Lee drafted really well. The only black eye is that Mark Andrews. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
How much longer is he going to stick with him? I would guess that he's going to move him out. I'm seeing people
Yeah.
also dropping Likely, which means that like Baltimore's such a tough team
I know.
because they're going to run the ball so much.
Yeah. But I almost did that with Goddard. I almost dropped him because Ingram was hurt. Goddard didn't do anything really the first couple weeks, but I'm like, it was that same thinking. I'm like, I looked and I couldn't figure out anybody else that I thought might have done anything. And then he goes and gets 170 yards.
So
And I was about this close from picking up Cole Kmet, which he might have been fine anyway, or picking up somebody else. But
well, we had some technical difficulties trying to get this going. We're using a
yeah,
different software to record this, and so we are hoping that
yes,
everything works out fine. If there's any problems with the podcast, we apologize in advance. Hopefully, this will all work fine. But Dave, I put together a little game. You are just, pride yourself in being number one, aware of players that are in the NFL, but then
okay,
two, aware of players that are on our fantasy football teams. So what I've done is I put together a list of irrelevant players.
ooh, oh wow,
And so you're going to tell me what position they play, what team they
I
play
might need a
for.
little help with this.
Yeah. All right. What position they play, what team they play for, and whose roster they're on. 3 questions on all these players. All right. So you ready to, in no particular order, you ready to give this a shot? Dave, do you know who Ray McLeod the third is?
Too. He's a wide receiver for Atlanta,
Okay.
and I believe he's on Andy's team.
There you go. All right. Hey, no, you don't have anything pulled up here, are you? You're
Nope,
not cheating.
nothing, no
Nothing.
cheating.
All right.
Just looking at you.
So let me give you that was all correct. Congratulations on that one.
Yeah, right in the camera.
All right.
Being
All right. So what about
Adrian.
Brian Thomas Jr.?
He's a wide receiver for Jacksonville,
Okay.
and he is on Adam's team.
There you go. Nice job. All right. How about Rome Odunze?
He's a wide receiver for Chicago. I think he's one of Ratty's many mediocre wide receivers.
Oh
Was that
man.
close? Not
No,
Ratty.
I mean, yes, he's a wide receiver for Chicago,
Oh, not Ratty.
but he's on Junior's team.
Junior, that's right. Junior's got a bunch of guys
right.
like
All right.
dang.
Okay. Let's switch things up a little bit. This is a pretty easy one, I think, but we'll
Okay.
see how you do. Antonio Gibson.
He's a running back for Washington. And why would he be on somebody's team? Is he on Ed's team?
He's on Ed's team, but think about what team he would play for then.
Oh, he's on New England.
There you go. I'm sorry you missed that, but
Yeah, dang it.
yes, Antonio
Why
Gibson is a running back for New England, and he
He's
is
on somebody's team that is winning our league right now.
yes, yes,
A running back for the Patriots.
yes.
God.
He's on like 17% of rosters.
And I believe Ed has their number one guy who he had a good start against the Bengals, but I think he's been pretty much worthless as a running back ever since.
So, all right. Let's try another one here. Jaleel McLaughlin.
He's a running back for Broncos. Why is he on somebody's team? They must have the main guy. I'll go back to Josh.
Nope, that is on Travis's team. Dave, you've missed 3 in a row here.
Well, they haven't, but none of these these Ray Ray's started McLeod, but most of these other guys have not started for
No,
anybody
no,
yet.
none of these guys start, Dave. I said irrelevant.
McLeod's been on, I think he's been in, right?
These are irrelevant players
Oh,
on
okay.
people's benches.
I think he had to play him one week.
Hmm. All right. Jalen Warren.
He is a running back for Pittsburgh, and he's still on Brian's team,
There you
along
go.
with 7 other Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nice job. Congratulations on that. Hey, you know that right now Adam is watching this, judging you, okay?
I know. I got a couple wrong.
Yeah. All right. How about Juwan Johnson?
Oh, we're still going. Juwan Johnson is tight end for the Saints, and he is on. Man, I feel like he's been dropped and added. We'll go Adam.
Nope, he's on
No.
Andy's team.
Andy, dang it.
Yeah.
Adam had
All right.
Taysom. That's right. Dang it.
How about Ty J. Spears?
Ooh, running back for the Titans,
Yep.
and he is on Lee's team.
No, he's on Ratty's team.
Man, I've said Ratty too many times. Man, I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah. Adonai Mitchell.
He is a wide receiver for the Colts, and he is on Ratty's team.
No, he's on Brennan's team. Brennan has Richardson,
yeah,
and he has
yes,
his wide receiver.
he does. Dang, these are hard.
All right. Rico Dowdle.
Running back for Dallas.
I like how you're counting.
I know I can picture it. Well, I'm looking at the rosters on the ESPN list, and Rico is Lee. No,
He's on my team.
you have him?
Yes. Yes.
Man, I'm fading. I was doing so good.
You were doing really
Took the
good.
hat off.
All right. Here's some bonus question. Well, no, Josh Palmer.
He's a wide receiver for the Chargers. He has not played for anybody yet, as far as I can remember. Not on my team.
No,
We'll go Brian.
he's on Lee's team.
Lee.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep. So
still nobody's.
you do
I
not
need
know
to-
the bench. You do not know the bench
I
roster.
guess not. I need to when I
you
need
know-
some bye weeks to happen, so some of these guys start.
Yeah, you know players and teams, except for the New England guy that's irrelevant. Okay, some bonus questions here. Okay, these are 4 players, not on anybody's roster. You're just gonna tell me what position and what team they play for. Okay.
Not on any roster. Okay.
Yep. Will Richard.
Will Richard. Wow. You one of the Bears running backs?
No, that's a kicker for Minnesota.
Is he actually kick?
Oh yeah, he's really good. These are all top waiver wire people.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, pretty high up.
I was
Okay.
thinking Rashawn. Okay, never mind.
Yep. Cade Otton.
He's a tight end for Tampa.
There you go. Nice job. Xavier Legette.
He's a wide receiver for Jacksonville.
No. Up and coming team that has a brand new quarterback that has a bunch
Carolina.
of receivers that are high up on the waiver wire.
Carolina. Yeah, he's
Yep. Yeah,
it was that same color.
Finally some Carolina wide receivers getting some love.
Yeah.
All right.
My guy did good finally. I had the guts to start him over Lad McConkey.
Last one. Isaac Giverando. Isaac Giverando.
I have no idea.
That is a running back for the San Francisco 49ers. They've got to go deep, bring
I
some
guess
guys
they
up off
do.
the practice squad because
McCaffrey's in Germany.
Germany. Yes, there we go. So, well,
So,
Dave,
hey, all right.
that was fun. I mean, you sucked at knowing
Yeah, I
roster
got
people
really,
were on, but
yeah,
you do know your football players.
yeah. So
So,
along the McCaffrey note, you know what, real quick, I had a little segment called it's we always like to overreact. It's only 3 weeks in, but this
yeah.
is worst picks, best picks of the
Okay.
first 5 rounds.
All
And I
right.
was gonna share my screen on Teams. I don't know how to do it on Zoom, so um, you'll have to bring up the list yourself. But we'll go first round, and this is including I'm not excluding injuries, so that's a
Yep.
part of it. So obviously, worst pick first round McCaffrey, no brainer. He's gotten 0 points. He
First
hasn't
round,
played.
first pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrible
so
pick.
that's a no brainer. Best pick, I'm going with my Kyron Williams because he's got the most points out of everybody in the first round.
Okay.
So with the 12th pick, and most of that was this week. But hey, so round two, worst, it's between me and you,
Okay.
Pacheco and Puka. But I'll stick with me and say Pacheco because I think Puka will come back quicker,
Yeah.
maybe by week 7.
Good chance Pacheco's not
Whereas,
coming back.
yeah, and if he does, it's over. They said 6 to 8 weeks. I don't even know why I still have him on my IR spot because I'll give it some time. But best pick a second round, Barkley by far. He's like way up there in the most points with the running backs. So round 3, tough one, but I hate to give it to our local guy, but Higgins is the least performing round 3 person,
Yep.
according to me. And fourth, it'd be easy to.
Who's the best for round 3?
Oh, that's what. Yeah, best for round. Worst was Higgins. Best for round 3. It's close, but I'm going James Cook
Okay.
over Josh Allen just because when you pick a quarterback in round 3, you
better.
expect him
Yeah.
to be top. You need it to be. Whereas James Cook in the 3rd round, he's like the number 4 running back right now. Then we got 4th round. We got a theme here for 4th and 5th round. 4th round, worst has to be Kelsey. He's the 27th tight end, and you pick a tight end that high, he doesn't perform. That's rough. The best, it's got to be Kamara. He's the number 2 running back, and he's in the 4th freaking round on Lee's team, and then 5th round, Mark Andrews. We mentioned him. He's the 33rd best tight end right now, and that's not a good pick at 5 in the 5th round. And the best will go to Chris Godwin. He's the 4th round. He's the 4th best wide receiver right now, and he was, people like Lee, for example, picked wide receiver, had 3 chances to get somebody in the top, and here Godwin is in the 5th round. He's the 4th best. Yep. Very early, 3 weeks in, but that's where I got. So.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that, Dave. So
if you disagree,
do I disagree?
let us know.
Yeah, let us know in chat, and
right.
don't forget to like and subscribe.
You want to go through?
Yeah. So we've got our undefeated Ed versus off all weekend, off in bib overalls.
Off in bib overalls. That is a picture right
there. Like always, Junior projected to do well, but in reality will not do well. Ed projected to do mediocre, will somehow find a way to win.
I mean, thing is, if you're Junior, even though Ed's 3-0, you got to be thinking, I'm glad I'm not playing some of these other guys that have been scoring well over 100, So this is a good, and it's tough to go 4-0. So the odds are probably against, but Junior knows how to snatch a loss from the jaws of victory.
Yes.
Like that victory is right there, and he just grabs the loss and he takes it. That's Junior force.
Yeah, Pollard and Moss versus Gibbs and Jones. I just give the advantage to Ed all day long. So we'll see what happens there. But Stroud needs a big game. I mean, he's due to have a big game.
I mean, this is at Lambeau. You got Aaron Jones dying to jump and do a Lambeau leap as a visitor.
Yeah.
So is he going to get in the end zone? I bet he does.
Yeah. So that'll be fun to watch. Junior needs a win.
Yeah.
Ed can survive a loss, but man, starting 4-0 would be super sweet for him.
Yeah.
This is a battle of two juggernauts, Lee versus Brian.
I know.
The winner of this will be at the top of the power rankings next week. I mean, that's just pretty much a given.
Yeah, outside of Ed scoring 140 and keeping first place, I feel like this is the
Yeah.
matchup that's going to decide it.
I will say the only issue is that every time ESPN projects somebody to be like up in that 108 category, like Ratty was or some other, they underperform. So take that for what it's worth. Brian's projected to score 108 and
Yeah.
Lee's only projected to score 97, and that doesn't usually end up being well for the guy that ESPN loves.
Yeah. I believe he was around that same projection last week and he beat it by like 10. So
Yeah. Who's that, Brian?
Brian, yeah.
Yeah.
No gimme in this one, I don't think. And I think it wouldn't be a stretch to think that the High Point winner is going to come out of this one.
Yep. All right. So Rennie, against you. How do you feel about this matchup?
I don't know. I didn't feel good at all about trying to keep up with Brian's team, and it took some big mustering to do. But I mean, I don't, we'll see what kind of tinkering happens between now and then. But
I think the
I
problem
don't know.
about facing
I
Rennie's
don't
team,
hate my chances.
well,
I don't. I think Burrow's going to play mad, which I don't like.
which you may have as well, but there's
No, I mean,
Rennie has 3 legit number 1 wide receivers. And Harrison Jr.
no, we're slowing down here.
Can you hear me?
I think I like it.
We good? Dave?
Only a little bit. Whoa, something happened there.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Sorry
All
about
right.
that, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
said,
happened.
no,
All right, so yeah,
it's probably because I was talking
where
about
were
Rennie
we?
having 3 legit number 1 wide receivers. You still there?
Yeah, it's starting to cut out. I'm not sure why. It's starting to zoom.
Yeah.
We better fly through these next 4.
Yeah. So Rennie versus Dave. Dave has no chance. All right. Up next, we've got Ratty versus Andy. I feel like every time Josh is in a matchup, it's like super close. So this one will probably be. Both these guys need this, though. That's the interesting thing is like neither one of them are in a position to lose this one. So
I know, and I feel like Andy got some momentum towards the end of that week, last week. So he's gonna give Josh every boat that he can carry.
yeah, nobody wants to face Josh Allen, so that's just part of it too. This couldn't come at a better time. Adam versus Flex. So
No, I mean, Adam got a gift win, and now he faces somebody that probably won't give him one.
yeah, I don't think that Travis will be nearly as kind as me. I can't see Travis scoring 55 points.
No, yeah, not with. I mean, what Lamar? Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, but Adam could pull some rabbits out of hats and get up to 100, and Travis could play like he did first week, and it could happen. But
Yeah,
boy, it's gonna be. If Adam doesn't win this week, he's got some climbing to do to get back in the thick of things.
yeah. And then we've got lastly me versus Brennan. I feel like that coming off of Rennie, Travis, Adam, this is kind of a gift, but I probably should be
Keep it.
careful.
You
because
think this where the low points will come out of? This will be the lowest scoring
uh,
total.
it's not going to be good because already Mixon's gone from looking like he's going to play to looking like he's not going to play.
Oh,
So,
really? I thought it was,
yeah,
man, thought that was optimistic.
yeah. So,
Bummer.
yeah, it's not great. Which mean and if all things were equal, I was kind of built for being able to withstand that with Miami's running back. How do you pronounce his name?
Chain.
Chain. Yeah. But with Miami having zero offense right now,
Do you think, I mean, I guess we saw what Skylar could do, and that's not much, but now it looks like he's hurt, and they're going to have to go with either, I can't, it was Huntley or some other guy. It's like, yeah,
bring Russell Wilson down to Miami
it's going to be tough for,
yesterday.
like, I can't imagine me. I think somebody has Hill in their lineup. Maybe they don't feel like they have a choice. I, I don't, I don't know that I felt like I had a choice, but I didn't play Waddle because I just didn't trust it. And I'm glad I didn't because
Yeah.
it was like a 10 point, 14 point swing with Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, Miami is just a train wreck right now. I mean, you probably got to start thinking about, like you said, benching Miami players. I was going to bench Achan if Mixon was available.
well, and like right now, they're the top sexy waiver defense pick. Like ESPN has them like projected 9 something points against Tennessee, and I'm like, what if
Oh,
their offense turns it
Tennessee's
over
going to
in
have
the
the ball so much. Like,
what,
surely you're going to find ways to score.
yeah, what if the offense turns it over in the red zone on with Tennessee like 5 times? It's like that's gonna kill their defensive stats. So I know Will Levis likes to give it to the other team, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see me picking up them and starting them, but somebody will probably just because they're projected so high, like higher than anybody. I think anybody that's being started. So before we wrap this up, did you see like right before we got on, there was a little post about kickers and 6 points?
Yeah. So, I don't like, I think I talked about, so I started a little league for my family. So it's like Jack and Carter and Katie, and then a bunch of Jack's friends. Like both of Josh Rademacher's sons are in it and some other boys. And it's just like standard ESPN things. I did it last minute. And so like I didn't change anything. So it has a flex spot, Travis, and it has, but and it's so interesting. Like I don't pay attention because I've been in this league for 20 plus years. So I didn't know all the rules of like standard ESPN,
Yeah,
6 points for 60-yard field goals. But
really.
yeah, -1 point for every field goal missed.
Yeah, that's like a lot of leagues do that.
Yeah. And then defense. So like this is something, just because we've been in it so long, I would assume because scoring's up, defense, like the the place to get zero defensive points is higher in
Okay.
ESPN standard than what we use. I think it's, do you know what ours is? Is it 24?
It's been so long since I looked at it. We just say I don't have it. I used to have it on the top of the draft, like all the different.
Yeah. But so whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's higher there. What else? Obviously quarterback. So our league values quarterback passing
Oh
more
yeah,
than
most of
ESPN
them it's
does. 4 points for touchdown, but then also it's different for the yardage.
Oh, is it 25 instead of 20?
Maybe, yeah,
So it's
something.
probably 4 points for 100 instead of
Yeah.
5 points for 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I think that's normal. It's just yeah, and yet our league still doesn't overvalue draft. I mean, we kind of do. Maybe drafting quarterbacks, people pick them, but nobody's picking them most time in the first couple rounds. And if you read about standard leagues, like somebody does and one of the big guys talks about if they happen to talk about a standard league, which they almost never do, they would say, oh yeah, they would push the quarterbacks way up high because of the 6 points and the
Well, and your running backs and your wide receivers always get more points in those standard leagues because it's PPR, like that's standard.
yeah.
So, and really it all, I mean, it's subjective, but like it just means that like in that league, scores are higher,
Yeah. I've been in leagues
but
before
they're
where you get
higher
the
across the board. You know what I
where you
mean? So
get the
it's like,
negative for kickers, and it can be very frustrating. You
oh yeah. So Fairbairn, where he got me 1 point in my league, in our league, uh, in the league that I'm in with the kids, he got me 0
yeah.
because he missed a field goal and got an extra point, and so they negated it
I
for me.
was I think years ago I was in one where whatever whatever the points they could get, that's how many you got minus. So if they kicked a 40-yarder and missed it, you got -4. So the kickers would ultimately get you almost nothing. It was almost not worth starting them.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would be
So there, I didn't even
for.
know
I
that.
don't know that I would be for or against like 6 point field goals for 60 plus yarders. Part of me is like, oh man, they're becoming so commonplace that like yeah, already kicker like in the first whatever 3 weeks we were seeing kicker scores way up. It's like, do we
Yeah.
want to even inflate that even more?
Yeah, I
Like
think,
where
I mean,
defenses
ideally,
and kickers are
I
getting.
remember when it went to, when 5 started being the thing, like, oh, let's make it a 50 worth 5. And it's like, it's supposed to match a little bit real, a touchdown, 6 points, a field goal, 3. And then it's like, all right, if it's a little farther out, we'll help out the kickers a little bit 4. But yeah, if you
Well,
get a 6 and that's equal to a touchdown, well, that's not equal to a touchdown in real football. It's only three
yeah.
points.
Well, but that was exciting when a 50-yard field goal was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Now a 50-yard field goal is, I mean, like we said, Aubrey had 5 of them
Yeah.
in 2 games, or whatever it was. Like, yeah,
I didn't realize that ESPN had already kind of switched that because I hadn't looked to change it, and because I didn't really think about it being a factor because teams weren't really trying them. Maybe one team at a year with like Tucker would maybe try one, but now it's 3 games in, and I think there's already been 2 or 3 60-yard attempts.
yeah. Well, it's such a huge swing for like if you're playing somebody and your kicker gets 6 points because they scored, you know, 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal, let's say, in a game. And so you got 3 extra points and you got a field goal and your kicker gets you 6 points. And then you're playing against somebody and their kicker gets them 23 points. Like,
Yeah. Well, we have the rest of this season and off season to think about it. I'm kind of with you. I don't know yet whether I'm for or against. I probably want to monitor the rest of the season and see how many are attempted to see if it's a fluky, then I don't know whether you should get an extra award for fluky, but if it becomes fairly commonplace, it's just going to water the points down a little bit. It'll make those certain kickers that do it more often, obviously more valuable, and maybe they'll get picked in higher rounds, you know.
yeah. So, well, it's like anything. I'm not inherently against PPR, but it just like all those things alter the way that you probably need to think about drafting. You
Oh
know what
yeah.
I mean? Just because you'd be like usage matters more than necessarily sometimes yardage does, because that's
Yeah.
10 yards, right? Every catch. And so that changes running backs, changes everything. So yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, and because in those leagues, three, you know, 3 for 60, that's a decent wide receiver, day for even if he doesn't score. But a guy that gets 7 catches for 45 yards gets more points.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
So, all right. Well, good luck, everybody. Again, we hope this podcast works out okay. Sorry for the uh, technical difficulties. Dave, have you watched Yellowstone?
no, I still haven't watched Yellowstone.
Okay, well, you definitely don't look like Rip and you don't look like Casey. You probably look like their other brother that most people think's gay. So just
Hey,
FYI. Yeah. All right. So congratulations.
why rat or out?
Yeah. Or Jamie from Yellowstone.
Jamie from this thing's I need to make it stickier.
Yeah. All right. Well, you all have a great night and we'll see you later.